Member for Riverina.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. If Nanette Simons were able to watch this, and I don't know how her eyesight is after that terrible attack on her on 16th of April, she'd be very upset. She'd be very disappointed, because what she would see is probably politics at its worst. That side blaming us saying it was their fault. Australians just deserve better. They just deserve better. And they're not getting it at the moment. And Labor is in government. Now, you can't explain to a 73-year-old Perth grandmother who has cracked lips, who has a bruised forehead, who has her face just purple with the bludgeoning that she took on that terrible night when 3 men arrived at her doorstep pretending to be police officers, pretending to be people that the community should be able to trust. And that attack should not have been perpetrated. And it's just beyond belief that indeed it was. And people like Ms Simons deserve better. And Labor is in government, and Labor should be doing better. We all should be doing better. We all should bring about policies that protect people like this 73-year-old grandmother who says that she doesn't feel safe in her own home. And when you are in your own home and someone comes to the door and shows a badge and says they are a police officer, in Australia, in 2024, you should be able to believe them. And yet she's been let down. She's been let down by all of us, and she has. And it's simply not good enough. And in November 2023, the High Court overturned a 20-year-old precedent which had underpinned the migration policy of governments on both sides. And it's just simply not good enough that the High Court, and I know we have to separate court and Parliament, it's simply not good enough because we make the rules that they follow. And we should have been onto this earlier. We should have been making sure that detainees who had violent pasts should not have been allowed out into the community. We should have as a parliament. And I can remember this parliament at its best when we had a case of pins in strawberries and some maniac was going around putting sharp objects into strawberries. And we came together in a bipartisan way and introduced emergency legislation to stop that. And then we had the situation, and I've been here a while, when we had the Russians wanting to build an embassy within the parliamentary triangle far too close to this building. And we again were at our best when we came together in a bipartisan way and put in legislation which stopped that process, which made sure that we put Australians and Australian interests at the forefront. National security at the forefront. And we've got to be better than this. We've simply got to be better than this. And, you know, we hear that we've got another boat arrival, another illegal boat arrival. And the other side say, well, it's Howard's fault and we've put in place measures. Well, I've got to say, under the Howard government, the boats stopped. They started again in the Gillard-Rudd years. And, you know, when you've got people being washed ashore on Christmas Island, drowned victims of failed policies, we've got to be better than that. And as a parliament, we should have been better. We should have preempted what the High Court was going to do and come together and put in policies that were going to prevent what we're seeing now, and that is detainees out causing mayhem in our communities. And it's simply not good enough. The first job of government is to keep Australians safe. Labor is in power. Labor is in office. Labor is in government, and it is on Labor's watch to do better. And if there's good policies, we'll support them. If it means keeping Australians safe, we'll support it. do better.
Member for Higgins.